Have you ever wondered why some people always seem to be 2 steps ahead, no matter the challenge, while you feel stuck chasing shadows? Why they move through life with clarity, confidence, and influence, while your own efforts feel scattered and unseen? The truth is, it's not luck. It's not talent. It's a choice, a set of habits, and a way of thinking that allows certain people to see opportunities where others see obstacles. And right now, you have the chance to step into that space. You have the chance to outsmart, outperform, and outlast, not by imitating, but by awakening the keys within yourself that have been waiting quietly for you to claim them. Imagine for a moment waking up each day with absolute clarity, feeling the weight of fear and doubt lift from your chest because you understand exactly how to navigate the world around you. Picture yourself making decisions with confidence, moving past hesitation, and stepping into situations that would have once intimidated you. This is not fantasy. This is the power of mastering the mind, mastering perception, and mastering the subtle forces that govern human behavior. The first key is awareness, not just awareness of what's around you, but awareness of yourself. The way you think, the words you speak to yourself, the stories you tell about your abilities, your potential, and your limits. Awareness is the flashlight in the dark room. Without it, you stumble, you guess, you follow the noise. With it, you see the patterns others miss, you anticipate moves before they happen, and you claim your advantage before anyone else even knows it exists. Awareness opens the door to understanding. When you notice how people operate, what drives them, what they fear, and what they desire, you gain insight that most never even dream of. This insight becomes your silent weapon. The ability to read a room, a conversation, or a market before everyone else reacts is a skill that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. And it starts with watching yourself as much as you watch the world. Every emotion, every impulse, every thought you have carries a message. The question is, will you listen or will you let it pass like water slipping through your fingers? Every small decision to observe, to reflect, and to learn compounds into intelligence, strategy, and mastery over time. And here's the reward for staying present, for paying attention right now. The knowledge you gain will not only give you an edge in life, but will transform how you feel about yourself. Confidence is born from knowing, not hoping. Power comes from insight, not chance. You will start to notice how doors open where they once were closed, how conversations shift in your favor, how opportunities that seemed invisible now reveal themselves like hidden paths. Every moment you spend sharpening your awareness is a moment invested in freedom. Freedom from uncertainty, freedom from manipulation, freedom from the chaos that traps so many in mediocrity. This is the reason to keep listening, to keep moving, to keep absorbing every principle, every strategy, every key I am about to share. By the end, you will see clearly what others miss. You will understand the invisible rules that govern success. You will hold in your mind the map that allows you to navigate the world with precision and calm. And when you act, you will act with the quiet certainty of someone who knows the game and knows themselves. The first step begins with awareness. Look within, pay attention, and allow yourself to see what others cannot. This is where your transformation begins. And this is the moment that separates those who follow from those who lead. Once you awaken awareness, the next power is focus. Not the fleeting kind of focus that comes and goes with mood or circumstance, but an unshakable, intentional focus that shapes every choice you make. Your mind is a tool, and like any tool, it can build or it can destroy. Left uncontrolled, it scatters your energy across endless distractions, diluting your potential until it feels like you are running in place. But when you train your attention, When you decide that every thought, every action, every ounce of energy will serve a higher purpose, you step into a realm few ever experience. Focus allows you to see clearly in a world designed to blur your vision. It transforms confusion into strategy, chaos into clarity, and hesitation into decisive action. Think about your daily life for a moment. How often does your attention get hijacked by noise, emails, social media, obligations that do not serve your growth? Each fragment of distraction steals power from your mind and energy from your soul. Yet when you reclaim that power, when you anchor your focus on what truly matters, you become unstoppable. Your decisions sharpen. Your learning accelerates. Your ability to solve problems grows exponentially. The people who seem ahead are not faster, smarter, or luckier. They are focused. They see the patterns, the connections, the opportunities that others ignore because they are too busy reacting instead of observing, too busy drifting instead of steering. Focus is a muscle, and it strengthens through discipline. It is the deliberate choice to eliminate what does not matter, to reject the temporary comforts of distraction, and to commit to the long game of mastery. Each moment you resist the urge to give in to a fleeting desire, you are investing in a future version of yourself that acts with precision, clarity, and authority. Your energy becomes concentrated like sunlight through a magnifying glass, able to ignite, to influence, to create. In this concentrated state, your mind becomes a weapon of insight and innovation. You begin to anticipate moves before others do. You begin to act while others hesitate. You begin to see doors where others see walls. And the emotional reward is immense. Focus brings peace, a quiet power that radiates from within. It dissolves anxiety born from overwhelm. It fuels confidence that does not need validation. The clarity it gives you creates a sense of control over life that feels intoxicating. When your attention is aligned with your intention, fear loses its grip. Doubt loses its voice. And every action you take carries the weight of purpose, propelling you forward in a way that is visible even to those who do not understand what drives you. This power is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters, relentlessly, without apology. Every thought you sharpen, every choice you align, every moment you dedicate to meaningful action compounds into results that will astonish both you and the world around you. You will notice doors opening in situations where others see obstacles. People will respond differently to your presence because there is a quiet intensity in you that cannot be ignored. Opportunities that once felt random will appear as if orchestrated by your deliberate control of focus. When you fully claim this power, you gain an edge that cannot be replicated by luck, wealth, or force. You gain clarity in the midst of confusion, strategy in the chaos, and calm in the storms of life. Focus is your anchor. It is the bridge between awareness and mastery. It is the lens that allows you to see the hidden patterns and act decisively, turning potential into reality. Harness it, sharpen it, and let it become the engine that drives you past hesitation, past doubt, and past the ordinary into the extraordinary. This is the path of those who outsmart the world. They move with intention, and their every action is deliberate, powerful, and unstoppable. Once focus becomes your ally, the next key is discipline. The kind of discipline that does not rely on motivation, mood, or fleeting excitement. Discipline is the invisible force that separates dreamers from achievers, intention from action, and potential from reality. It is the quiet commitment to do what must be done, even when your mind screams for comfort, distraction, or avoidance. Most people mistake energy and inspiration for progress, but real progress is born from doing consistently, even when you do not feel like it. Discipline is the engine that drives mastery. the bridge between knowing what to do and actually accomplishing it, and the weapon that ensures your focus never wavers. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. The freedom to take control of your life, to shape your future with deliberate choices, to no longer be a victim of circumstance or fleeting desires. Every moment you choose to act, every decision to persist, every time you refuse the easy escape, you are planting seeds of power that compound silently, invisibly, and irreversibly. This is why the extraordinary never wait for the right time or the perfect mood. They create conditions through discipline. They rise early when the world sleeps. They practice when no one watches. They learn when others rest. Each act of discipline strengthens your mind, fortifies your character, and builds the unshakable confidence that allows you to face any challenge without hesitation. Embrace discipline, and you begin to see that life rewards consistency, not occasional brilliance. Small actions repeated over time create momentum that no obstacle can stop. Discipline is the architect of habits, the sculptor of character, and the force that transforms knowledge into results. When you pair awareness with focus and add the unyielding commitment of discipline, you become someone who is not swayed by chaos, discouraged by failure, or distracted by temptation. You become unbreakable in your pursuit, unstoppable in your execution, and undeniable in your presence. People around you notice the difference, even if they cannot articulate it. They feel the weight of your resolve. They sense your direction. They recognize that you are someone who will reach your goals because nothing can deter your dedication. The emotional power of discipline cannot be overstated. It brings peace amidst uncertainty because you know that your actions are aligned with purpose. It fuels confidence because you are no longer relying on external factors to succeed. You rely on yourself. It creates a sense of control over your destiny that feels electrifying and liberating. Every day, every choice, every decision becomes a deliberate step forward. The fear that once paralyzed you loses its grip. Doubt that once haunted you becomes irrelevant. And the life that once felt random and chaotic begins to feel orchestrated, intentional, and fully within your command. Discipline also protects your focus. Without it, attention drifts, energy dissipates, and opportunities slip through your fingers. With it, every thought, every habit, every action aligns with your goals. You move faster, think clearer, and achieve more. You no longer wait for the world to give you permission or validation. You take charge of your life because discipline has made action automatic and mastery inevitable. This is the power of those who outsmart everyone else. They are disciplined in thought, in choice, and in action. They move with purpose when others drift. They act when others hesitate. They win not because they are luckier, smarter, or stronger, but because they are consistent, deliberate, and unyielding. Discipline turns potential into power, intention into action, and desire into reality. It is the heartbeat of mastery, the engine of transformation, and the key that ensures you rise above the ordinary to claim the life you were always meant to lead. Discipline alone is powerful, but intelligence without adaptability is like a river blocked by a dam. It has energy, but it cannot flow. The next key is strategy, the ability to think ahead, anticipate consequences, and position yourself where others are blind. Strategy is not about working harder or even smarter in the conventional sense. It is about understanding the currents of life, the patterns of human behavior, and the hidden opportunities that most people overlook. When you cultivate strategic thinking, you move with intention rather than reaction. You act with precision rather than chaos. You become the person who sees 3 moves ahead while others are still figuring out the first. Every choice you make carries weight. Every interaction has meaning. Every situation contains an invisible grid of possibilities. Those who outsmart everyone else are masters of recognizing these grids and navigating them with calm confidence. They understand that brute force and impulsive effort are temporary solutions. True power comes from observation, analysis, and the intelligent orchestration of action. Strategy allows you to conserve energy, maximize impact, and create advantages that appear effortless to the outside world. What looks like luck to others is simply the result of thinking ahead, seeing what is unseen, and acting with deliberate intent. To build this level of strategic thinking, you must combine awareness, focus, and discipline with reflection. You must step back and evaluate your actions, your patterns, and the patterns of those around you. Ask yourself, where are the openings? Where are the weaknesses? How can I turn circumstances to my favor without force, without struggle, without unnecessary conflict? Strategic thinking is not about domination. It is about alignment. It is the ability to navigate the world in a way that moves you forward while minimizing resistance, friction, and wasted effort. The emotional reward of mastering strategy is profound. You feel a quiet confidence that cannot be shaken. You move through life without panic because you can anticipate, plan, and respond. Challenges no longer feel like roadblocks. They become opportunities to apply insight, creativity, and deliberate action. You begin to notice how situations unfold in predictable patterns, and you can position yourself advantageously before others even understand what is happening. This creates freedom, power, and clarity. It allows you to act decisively in moments where others hesitate. It gives you the edge that transforms potential into achievement, thought into influence, and intention into reality. Strategic thinking also cultivates patience, the discipline to wait for the right moment to act. It teaches timing, the subtle art of knowing when to push forward and when to hold back. It develops resilience, the ability to adapt when outcomes do not go as planned without losing sight of the ultimate goal. Those who master strategy do not panic when obstacles arise. They adjust, they plan, they respond with calculated precision. They become architects of their own destiny, designing pathways that others cannot even see. This is the essence of outsmarting everyone else. It is not merely working harder, learning more, or being stronger. It is the art of thinking ahead, acting deliberately, and positioning yourself where others cannot reach. Awareness gave you insight, focus gave you clarity, discipline gave you power, and strategy gives you the map to navigate the unseen forces around you. When you combine all these elements, you become unstoppable. You move through the world with a quiet authority, a presence that commands attention, and an intelligence that ensures every step you take moves you closer to mastery. Strategy is the bridge that connects effort to impact, thought to action, and potential to extraordinary results. It is the tool that turns knowledge into power and ensures that your life is not left to chance, but guided by deliberate, unstoppable intelligence. Strategy gives you the map, but execution is the force that turns vision into reality. Knowledge alone is powerless without action. The next key is decisiveness, the courage to make choices when uncertainty is loud, to move when hesitation whispers, and to commit fully when doubt arises. Most people stall because they fear making the wrong move. They wait for permission, clarity, or perfection, and in that waiting, opportunity passes them by. Those who outsmart everyone else do not wait, they act. They understand that the cost of inaction is far greater than the risk of a mistake. Decisiveness transforms thought into momentum, planning into results, and potential into undeniable achievement. To be decisive, you must trust yourself. You must recognize that the mind, once sharpened by awareness, focused with intensity, disciplined in practice, and guided by strategy, is capable of choosing correctly more often than it fails. The fear of being wrong loses its power when you understand that every action, whether perfect or flawed, generates information, experience, and insight that brings you closer to mastery. Indecision is a silent thief, stealing opportunities and energy, while decisiveness is a weapon that creates movement, opens doors, and compels circumstances to align with your intent. Decisiveness is not impulsive. It is deliberate, informed, and confident. It comes from preparation, observation, and reflection. It comes from the habit of acting in alignment with your goals and values. Each decision you make sharpens your intuition and strengthens your ability to assess risks accurately. You begin to see patterns more clearly, to anticipate outcomes more precisely, and to respond with confidence where others stumble. The act of deciding, even imperfectly, produces momentum. Momentum compounds into speed. Speed compounds into advantage. And advantage separates those who act with purpose from those who linger in fear. Emotionally, decisiveness brings empowerment unlike anything else. The weight of hesitation lifts. Anxiety fades. You feel the thrill of control, the energy of movement, and the satisfaction of shaping your own path rather than being shaped by circumstances. Every choice you make with conviction is a declaration to the world that you are present, capable, and unafraid. Opportunities that once seemed fleeting become reachable because your confidence in action allows you to seize them before they vanish. Your mind becomes sharper, your energy surer, and your presence undeniable. People feel it. The world responds differently when you act with unwavering certainty. Decisiveness also breeds resilience. When obstacles arise, you respond quickly, adjust where needed, and keep moving without paralysis. You do not waste time replaying mistakes, because each action becomes a lesson, a tool, and a stepping stone toward mastery. Your ability to act under pressure elevates you above the noise of hesitation that traps most people in mediocrity. The boldness of your choices becomes magnetic, attracting opportunities, allies, and resources that recognize decisiveness as a mark of power. Those who outsmart everyone else do not merely think or plan, they execute. They trust their preparation, embrace risk, and move when others freeze. Decisiveness is the bridge between strategy and achievement, the spark that ignites momentum, and the force that transforms potential into tangible results. By acting with confidence and clarity, you claim control of your life. You move with precision, energy, and unstoppable momentum. Every step forward becomes proof that mastery is not an idea, it is action. And action favors the brave, the prepared, and the decisive. Execution moves you forward, but influence is the force that multiplies your impact. The next key is understanding human behavior, the ability to read people, sense intentions, and shape outcomes without force. Every interaction, every conversation, every connection is an opportunity. Those who outsmart the world do not rely solely on strength, knowledge, or effort. They understand the subtle currents that govern human thought and emotion. They recognize that influence is not manipulation. It is clarity, empathy, and the strategic alignment of your presence with the desires, fears, and aspirations of others. Influence begins with awareness of self and others. You must first understand your own triggers, biases, and patterns before you can perceive the same in others. When you notice how people react under pressure, what motivates their decisions, and what they fear most, you gain the power to guide outcomes without confrontation. This is the intelligence of connection, the ability to communicate with impact, to inspire trust, and to align your goals with those around you. People do not resist clarity, vision, or authority, they follow it. And when you operate from this place of understanding, Influence becomes a natural extension of your presence. The psychology of influence is rooted in respect, timing, and perception. Small shifts in tone, focus, and behavior can alter how you are perceived and how others respond. By observing subtle patterns, facial expressions, word choices, body language, you can adjust your actions to achieve cooperation, agreement, and alignment. Those who outsmart everyone else recognize that most people operate unconsciously, reacting to emotion rather than thought. By remaining calm, intentional, and aware, you occupy a space of clarity that draws others toward you. Your words carry weight, your decisions inspire confidence, and your presence shapes reality without struggle. Emotionally, mastering influence is liberating. You no longer expend energy forcing outcomes that resist you. You no longer feel frustrated when others fail to align with your intentions. Instead, you operate from a position of strategic calm, knowing that connection is built on perception, empathy, and timing. Every interaction becomes a tool to achieve goals, build alliances, and create opportunities. The power of influence allows you to navigate complex situations with ease, resolve conflict before it escalates, and guide others toward outcomes that serve mutual benefit. Influence also amplifies every other skill you have cultivated. Awareness sharpens your perception of intent. Focus ensures your interactions are deliberate and precise. Discipline maintains consistency in your behavior and presence. Strategy positions you where your influence can have the greatest effect. Decisiveness transforms opportunity into action. Influence multiplies all of this, turning individual effort into a force that extends far beyond your immediate reach. It allows you to shape environments, lead teams, and create outcomes that would be impossible alone. Those who outsmart the world understand that influence is subtle, silent, and profound. It does not require volume, aggression, or coercion. It demands observation, timing, and precision. It rewards patience, empathy, and insight. By mastering influence, you gain the ability to move through life with fewer obstacles, greater alignment, and more opportunities. You become someone who does not merely react to the world, you guide it. You inspire, persuade, and shape outcomes in ways that others cannot, because you have learned the language of human behavior. Influence is the invisible power that transforms action into impact, potential into achievement, and presence into authority. It is the key that allows you to move through life not only ahead of others, but in harmony with the currents that drive them. Influence gives you reach, but resilience gives you endurance. The next key is the ability to persist when everything around you resists, to rise when circumstances push you down, and to maintain unwavering commitment when the world challenges your vision. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles, setbacks, and failures in your path. Those who outsmart everyone else do not wait for life to be easy. They develop the inner strength to thrive despite difficulty. Resilience is not a trait you are born with. It is a skill you cultivate through experience, mindset, and choice. It is the refusal to allow circumstances, opinions, or temporary defeats to define your trajectory. Resilience begins with perspective. Every failure, every rejection, every setback contains information, opportunity, and growth. The world does not conspire against you. It tests your commitment, challenges your readiness, and measures your determination. When you approach adversity with awareness, focus, discipline, strategy, decisiveness, and influence, you gain the ability to interpret obstacles as feedback rather than punishment. You see the lessons hidden within struggle. You understand that each challenge strengthens your mind, sharpens your decision-making, and prepares you for greater achievement. Resilience is the lens through which failure becomes fuel, fear becomes clarity, and pain becomes power. the emotionally transformative effect of resilience is profound. When you develop the capacity to endure, you no longer feel paralyzed by uncertainty. Fear loses its hold because you know you can recover, adapt, and continue. Anxiety fades because you understand that outcomes are not permanent. What matters is how you respond. Every setback becomes an opportunity to grow stronger, to act wiser, and to prove to yourself that nothing can derail your progress unless you allow it. The sense of inner stability that comes from resilience allows you to move with confidence, courage, and calm, even in situations that would overwhelm most people. Resilience also reinforces every other key you've cultivated. Awareness allows you to interpret challenges accurately. Focus helps you concentrate on solutions rather than problems. Discipline ensures consistent effort despite difficulty. Strategy positions you to navigate obstacles effectively. Decisiveness enables action when hesitation tempts you. Influence allows you to gather support, guidance, and resources. Resilience ties all of these together, allowing you to continue moving forward when others stop, persist when others quit, and rise when others fall. It transforms your potential into unstoppable momentum and your intentions into results. Those who outsmart everyone else are not immune to struggle. They face adversity as part of the journey. What sets them apart is their refusal to be defeated by it. They embrace discomfort, learn from failure, and maintain steady progress, regardless of how difficult the path becomes. Resilience is the power that sustains mastery over time, the force that allows brilliance to endure beyond fleeting moments of inspiration or luck. It is the shield that protects focus, the engine that powers decisiveness, and the foundation upon which influence and strategy thrive. By cultivating resilience, you gain freedom. Freedom from fear of failure, from dependency on approval, and from the weight of setbacks. You learn to move through life with certainty, courage, and determination that others can sense but cannot replicate. Resilience ensures that no matter what challenges arise, you remain in control of your actions, your mindset, and your destiny. It is the key that transforms pressure into opportunity, resistance into growth, and struggle into unstoppable progress. Those who master resilience rise above ordinary limits, outlast opposition, and move through life with a force that is both calm and unstoppable, carrying every other skill you have cultivated into extraordinary results. Resilience allows you to endure, but vision is what gives direction and purpose to all your effort. The final key is the ability to see beyond the immediate, to imagine the life you want before it exists, and to align every action, thought, and choice toward that reality. Without vision, even the most disciplined, focused, strategic, decisive, and influential person drifts. Vision is the compass that guides your journey, the lighthouse that cuts through uncertainty, and the force that transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. It is not wishful thinking. It is clarity of purpose, coupled with unwavering belief in what is possible. Vision begins with honesty. You must confront your true desires, acknowledge your deepest ambitions, and refuse to settle for mediocrity. Most people accept the limitations the world places on them. They measure themselves against the expectations of others and allow circumstance to define possibility. Those who outsmart everyone else refuse this. They envision a future that aligns with their potential, not their current reality. They see what could be, even when it is invisible to everyone else. This clarity fuels courage, sharpens focus, and inspires the discipline necessary to move relentlessly toward that future. Emotionally, vision is liberating. It provides meaning to struggle, purpose to sacrifice, and motivation to act when circumstances feel impossible. Every obstacle becomes a test rather than a threat. Every failure a lesson rather than a defeat. And every small step forward a confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. When your mind is anchored by vision, fear loses its grip, doubt becomes irrelevant, and hesitation fades. You begin to operate from a place of certainty, confidence, and unstoppable momentum because you are no longer reacting to life. You are creating it. Vision also magnifies the power of everything else you have cultivated. Awareness allows you to recognize opportunities aligned with your goals. Focus ensures your energy is directed toward the right actions. Discipline sustains your effort when challenges arise. Strategy positions you for maximum impact. Decisiveness converts plans into action. Influence enables others to support, follow, or align with your purpose. Resilience carries you through setbacks. Vision unites all of these elements, providing clarity on where to apply your energy and ensuring that every effort compounds toward meaningful results. Those who outsmart the world do not simply react to the present, they create the future. They visualize the outcome, then reverse engineer the path to reach it, moving deliberately with confidence, strategy, and precision. They act as if the reality they desire already exists. And this alignment of thought, action, and intention creates momentum that is impossible to resist. People sense this energy. Circumstances begin to bend, opportunities align, and obstacles appear smaller in the presence of unwavering clarity. Vision turns potential into tangible results because it gives every other skill you possess a target, a purpose, and an unshakable direction. To hold vision is to hold power. It allows you to operate above the noise, to ignore distraction, and to remain committed when others falter. It fuels creativity, inspires innovation, and cultivates resilience because you understand that every challenge is temporary and every effort moves you closer to your objective. Vision transforms ordinary action into extraordinary achievement. It is the key that ties together awareness, focus, discipline, strategy, decisiveness, influence, and resilience. It is the culmination of mastery, the force that ensures every skill, every choice, every action you cultivate carries you not only past others, but into a life defined by intentionality, achievement, and the realization of your highest potential. When vision guides you, you become unstoppable. You move with purpose, act with clarity, and create outcomes that others can only dream of. You do not wait for opportunity. You generate it. You do not follow. You lead. You do not drift. You define the path. And in doing so, you outsmart everyone around you, rising to a level of mastery, influence, and fulfillment that is visible, undeniable, and irreversible.